Welcome to From the Woodshed, where we talk about all things Maine cabins, and all things Maine related. Coming to you from the Kennebec Cabin Company, home of the Maine Cabin Masters in Manchester, Maine. Open year-round, stopping for live music, delicious food, and cold beverages before or after your visit to our retail location. From the Woodshed is brought to you by NELMA, Northeast Lumber Manufacturing Association. See the stamp, trust the quality. And Hammond Lumber, our building materials supplier. We're wicked excited to get started, so let's head on in. From the Woodshed, I'm Chase Morrill. With me, as always, Ryan Eldridge.
Hi, everybody.
And Eva Morrill.
Hello.
Hi, Eva.
We're here to talk about all things Maine, all things cabins, all things Maine cabin related. Our guest today is Jimmy Uttley from Powermatic. Can't get a cabin built without Powermatic.
Without some power tools.
And you can find us at KennebecCabinCompany.com, MaineCabinMasters.com, our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok channel.
TikTok again.
And Kennebec Cabin Company YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our online store at shop.KennebecCabinCompany.com. We always want to thank our sponsors, Hammond Lumber Company, the official building materials supplier of Kennebec Cabin Company, and NELMA, Northeast Lumber Manufacturing Association.
I made sure we have some really good videos of us TikTok and dancing that we save those just in case.
We do.
And our IT guru niece, Maggie, did it all the way in college. So thank you, Maggie. And now we have them. And then 10 minutes later, TikTok was back. We haven't done a video lately.
I know.
All I heard was Nori screaming from upstairs.
What did she say?
My videos are gone!
We had some fun with those, I'll tell you that.
Oh.
And back again. Well, so it's been a crazy week. We don't talk politics, but we got a new president.
We've got a new president.
We're still working. It's cold still.
It's cold.
God, what?
All over.
It wasn't long ago when we were literally January, February, we kind of just chilled out. We did some skiing, just hunkered down. It's a price of success.
Yeah, I've kind of got mixed feelings about it. It's like,
I know. Yes, I know exactly what you're going to say.
like, I like taking the time off,
Yeah.
but it's keeping everybody going. And I like the film crew seeing how, you know what I mean? Like,
Right?
how it's a struggle.
It's a struggle. I think we're about 60% efficiency,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And, it's easy for the film crew to say, why aren't you keeping to the schedule, blah, blah, blah. But when they're out here in the cold,
Batteries are dying.
and it's just,
Can't bend over.
you can't do anything, and things are just slower. And so it's good that they see it and they feel it and they know what it takes.
And let's be honest, we've been lucky the last 4 or 5 years. It hasn't been that bad. This is like a real win,
Yeah.
We haven't had a win like this in like probably 6 or 7 years.
Yeah. But, hey.
If it doesn't kill you, it makes you smarter, I guess. Or stronger.
I don't know.
But we're getting stuff done. We're making, like I always said, the worse the weather, the better the TV.
That is true.
My problem is now, though, like with the film crews here, and they were offering you hot lunch, and they bring this menu to you. It's like, oh, I eat way too much food. It's like just pack it on, like hibernate. I'm like a walking hibernating bear, eating whatever I can.
And I'm going to jump right to a fan question. Why don't we wear gloves in the winter? It's off for me. It's off and on. But like,
I don't feel safe doing it on the chop saw really, or on saws.
And like trying to use a nail gun with gloves on, it just doesn't work. So once you move in, once the hands are warm, it's comfortable. But as soon as you stop working, stop moving your hands, they freeze right up. So gloves back on. But for the most part, if we can get away with it, we don't wear gloves for that reason.
Right. I hate wearing gloves at all.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I'm touching it. I feel better and safer.
Right.
But lately I get the cat out of the bag. I've had hand warmers in my pocket. So you put them in.
Oh, yeah.
Say you cut a board, walk over, and somebody get those thin there, warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried the fingerless, like the ends. It just doesn't do it for me.
I've never understood those.
No.
I do want to invest in some rechargeable hand warmers, though.
Would you like to borrow mine for my skiing? They're in my ski bag.
I would like to try them.
Okay.
To see.
Note to self, Ashley, if you're watching, get those out of my ski bag because I can't ski for a while.
Yeah. Fletcher was at a ski race today at Saddleback.
Nice.
7th place. Yeah. So he's happy, I'm sure.
Eva, when's your races start?
I'm racing on Saturday.
Nice. Where at?
Camden Snowball.
They probably got more snow down there than we do anywhere else. What a weird year. Like, did you see Florida and New Orleans? Like,
Yeah.
this last storm, Sunday night, I was so excited. Oh, it's getting hyped up. You can get 5 to 8, which is a lot now. And then the guy I trust, like, oh, it's probably going to be better because the cold and hot air is going to collide. I wake up, there's an inch on my deck. I was so, I even set my alarm for 4. I was so excited to go plow. You know, plowing doesn't wear, the novelty doesn't wear off till after a couple storms. By the end of the day, plowing 4 inches of snow, I was like, over it. It's like, because it takes just as long if you're plowing a foot of snow.
Yeah. The only thing I'm grateful for is that the ground's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Plowing on frozen ground is the worst. It's just, it's dirty, makes a mess of everything.
Yeah, then you're out there with the old lawn rake in the spring. And
Yeah. It's an endless cycle.
endless cycle. Ash and I got to see our episode this week. It was awesome.
Yep. We
So-
had a
so-
viewing party at the Woodshed.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It was really awesome. A lot of family was there and friends and all the people that helped us out. And
Yeah.
it was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I thought I was gonna tear up. I got my emotions back in check after I cried on TV a couple times.
Have you been out there this winter?
I have not been out there. I dream about it all the time though. I was like, yeah, wait, dreaming. Like today, I was kind of sitting there. Everyone, close your eyes and think about 6 months from now. You know, I feel so nice.
Yeah.
Like we'd be getting out of here, we'd be sweating in here right now. We'd go outside, the woodshed would be packed. You know, maybe we might even have time to go on the boat or go home and do something, mow the lawn. You could smell the grass.
It's true.
I do think I'd get bored though if I lived in Florida. What do you think? If you lived,
I don't think I would ever.
Janine, let me stop.
I think I would be so happy.
Do you love the heat as much as your dad?
Yeah.
I'd say more.
I think I
What about the seasons? Do you like this? Do you like fall and?
like spring. I think fall's a little cold, but summer is definitely my favorite.
See, I feel like if you really think about spring now, spring is so long here. You get those false hopes. Then it's cold and
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
not really spring till May.
right. And it's really not really winter until February. So remember
I'm
that.
okay with that.
I did look on my phone today in Foss Alto.
What was it for Salto?
High of 57. Like, you
Take
know
me
what?
back. I know. I dream about Italy as much as I dream about the island. It was,
Yeah.
and we were there. Like I was so proud of myself because like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I lived in the moment.
Yeah.
We experienced so much like every day, and it felt like when we were there, it felt like we were there forever.
Yep.
And then look back, I was like, God, we weren't there long enough.
Yeah. It flew by.
We're gonna find a way to go back for a while.
Right. Absolutely.
Keep watching our episodes, guys. Tell everyone how amazing Italy is. Send emails to Magnolia, Chip into it, everyone. Just okay, send us back to Italy.
That's right. We want season 2.
We will do anything.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm a shameless plug.
Hey, whatever it takes. Whatever it
The
takes.
cold might be getting to us, Eva.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we're gonna take a short break. After this, video from Hammond Lumber. We're gonna have our friend Jimmy Uttley from Powermatic and Jet Tools, JPW, whatever that means. We'll find out after this.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
All right, welcome back. Our guest today is Jim Utley, and he manages the woodworking product line for JPW. He's worked in sales and marketing for 22 years for multiple tool companies.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
Truly appreciate it.
Thanks for coming all the way up from Charlotte, huh? Flew
Oh,
up for this.
I came up here for warmer weather. I don't know what was going on, but yeah,
And
still
the
trying
snow
to find
missed
it. The snow missed us, so I came up here to bring some home to the kids. So
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
today's segment is going to be brought to us by our friends at Cushnock, local brewery down the road. But you do have a choice. Would you like water, coffee, or beer?
beer sounds fantastic.
I almost could go for coffee today. It's almost that cold.
We do have a coffee porter in there.
Okay, we're going to go with the Cushnock. Nice Kolsch today. Coffee porter, I will be in bed. This is a nice light drink. You like a Kolsch. How do you say that?
Kolsch.
How do you say the first one? Crushy Kolsch? Let me hold up. Crush.
There you go.
Yeah, it was
sir.
fun.
Thanks, sir.
You guys saw last week's episode with Tobias here. That was a lot of fun. What's your favorite type of tea?
Peppermint
Oh,
or mint.
You're not an Earl Grey type of girl.
I like English breakfast.
Eva loves tea.
I do.
Oh, I like the granola Mimi makes for you. I need to get that recipe.
Anyways, cheers.
Doesn't take much to get us off. Nice to see you again.
Hey,
Been a
thanks
while.
so much. Yeah, absolutely. Truly appreciate it.
You were up, what, at the beginning of the summer? No, fall.
It was a couple of months ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were up. Actually, my wife and I both came up here for the Wood Show.
Yep.
The WTF Festival.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah,
That was amazing, huh?
It was incredible. Well, I mean, from like a product management standpoint, I got to camp out in the wood shop, talk to people who were coming through. Everyone was so excited to be there, meet everybody, talk to them about the machines that were there. So yeah, it was awesome. Now, it did cost me some money because my wife got into wood carving while she was here. So yeah, so thank you, gentlemen, for that.
Yes.
We now have carving knives and rotary tools that we didn't have before. So
Yeah, honey, don't you want to just use a power lathe?
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, like lathes, I got that, but the knives and gloves, yeah, that's new.
I think that's a pretty big compliment, when the representative from your wood shop tools comes up and is, wife gets another hobby in the woodworking industry. That's pretty good. That's a good show.
Well, we also came back with a chainsaw carved pumpkin that is named Trigger.
Oh, nice.
So,
Love it.
Yeah, that was fun bringing that to TSA. Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be the first annual that was so successful.
I can't wait to come back.
Yeah. And then you were here before that, helped us with setting up the wood shop.
No,
Some of your representatives.
Yeah, we sent some team up here. I skipped out on that. I showed up like a blister after the work was already done.
Pretty smart.
So yeah, tried to. But yeah, we've had a bunch of calls with Benny and the team there, of making sure all the machines are set up, make sure all the service and everything is done. So yeah, it's been really cool working with that team.
Yeah, for folks home that don't remember, we did an episode for our new wood shop at the Back 40. What was that, about a year ago?
No, 2.
God, time flies.
A year and a half or so.
Yeah.
When we started talking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we partnered up with Powermatic and Jet and those guys, and we have a beautiful wood shop. It's been awesome working with you guys.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
And I mean, it's awesome tools. It's top of the line, and it's like kids in a candy store.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, it was so cool to talk to those guys. I mean, I spent an hour over there. Hopefully, I wasn't keeping Benny from doing stuff today. He might have should have been at the dump, but I was talking to him about tools. But just like with what he's doing over there, the work he does, to be able to get that kind of expertise from a woodworker to find out like what we need to do next on Powermatic or Jet machines is absolutely incredible.
Nice. So tell us a little bit just about the company JPW.
Yeah.
And
so JPW Industries is our parent company.
Yep.
The JPW is Jet, Powermatic, and Wilton.
Yep.
So I'm over our woodworking line. So that's Jet woodworking tools, Powermatic woodworking tools.
Yep.
We also have Jet metalworking machines, like mill drills, metal lathes, CNC lathes. Wilton is vices, sledgehammers. We're also Bailey and Edwards, metalworking, metal forming, metal chip making, like other products as well. So big company. We're based in Laverne, Tennessee, so just outside Nashville.
Okay.
But the things that I'm selfishly concerned with are the Powermatic and Jet line.
Nice.
Yep.
And Powermatic and Jetline have tools for all levels of, woodworkers.
Absolutely. And we see like with Powermatic is a premium industrial level type machine. But it's absolutely in garages from a do-it-yourselfer all the way up to a cabinet shop that's churning out things day in and day out. Jet is more focused on bringing value to the user. So with a Jet machine, you'll see those more in like a do-it-yourselfer's type garage, shed, something like that. But then also those Jet machines can also still be used in production. Like our 20-inch planers and these types of machines, they are truly workhorses. And both of those, Powermatic and Jet, both have a 5-year warranty period on those machines. So the tech service team that we've talked with, our customer service team, all those teams are there to support both of those brands.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, I remember, Powermatic used to be green.
It did. I love on the Powermatic owner groups and everything out there.
Yeah.
If someone finds a green Powermatic, like a green Powermatic planer, it's like, this is amazing. It's like, I love to see them. Yeah. And it's, so our tagline is the gold standard since 1921. So we've had multiple colors. We were green in the past. Now we are gold.
Yes.
And it's unmistakable when you see those Powermatic gold machines of what brand it is. But yes, we absolutely used to be green. And it's when you see those, like I was talking to Benny about a green machine today. And those are amazing machines that are still kicking it in the industry and high school shops and every place. Yeah.
Nice.
I was just thinking about how, when you get a certain type of vehicle and you start to notice that vehicle. Well, since we've been lucky enough to use Powermatic stuff, I've been seeing, in shops that have been around a long time. Like we just did one out in Winthrop, and there was an old shop, and they had Powermatic, and some of the stuff like lasts a long. I mean, it's built well and lasts a long, long time.
Yeah, it's cool to be a part of that. To have these machines that are heirloom pieces. Like some people pass on a piece of jewelry. Like people are passing on Powermatic table saws, and it's an honor to be part of that history.
Well, it's funny. That's how the whole original idea of the WTF started.
Oh, really?
And when WTF, it's the Woodworkers Tool Festival that we
I
held.
thought it was something else.
And everybody. I mean, maybe not everybody, but collects old tools.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many table saws I have kicking around. We ended up buying out a woman. Her husband passed away, and she was sold his entire woodworking contents. And we're like, a tool sale where everybody gets together and kind of like a swap meet type of thing. And it just kind of grew from there. And
it evolved quite quickly.
And again, you guys were there, which was fantastic.
Well, it was so cool to see like the range of craftspeople there. Yeah. From hand carving to pin turners to cutting boards to chainsaw carving. Like it was neat to see everything that's getting turned out of wood there in the parking lot. So, yeah.
And I mean, it almost was an evolution of woodworking because we had David Lancaster inside with the foot-powered lathe, the foot-powered jigsaw, and then you go, worked your way down to our wood shop, and I mean, that was just, top of the line.
Yeah. And there's the veterans organization there turning with jet products. We're totally cheating with power. Yeah, so like foot turning, that's cool and all, but we just plug it in, you can run. So
yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
I have to say, I think my favorite. I mean, all the tools, but the table saw with the digital readout of what you set the saw at for an angle is probably my favorite feature of all your tools.
Yeah.
It's just, how many times you guess when you crank the wheel and tilt the blade.
Yeah.
This, exactly where it is.
Well, how about just have everything set up so, and tables at level, and when you push a sheet through that, it's just like butter. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't get to work at it that much because, we're so busy, but it's neat to see how it's made us more efficient. I think the last year we did a lot of window kits. They build the window trim kits, right? Yeah. And we treat them right in the paint room, snap them in,
then bring them out.
Do a lot of staircases, and we still got a long ways to go, but we're learning a lot.
Well, and that's what I was talking to him about today, actually, because like there's even because when we started working with y'all, we've launched multiple things since then. That want to talk to the team about, because like at the very end of 2023, we came out with our Powermatic armor glide machines with like our table saws, the joiners, where it's an industrial grade PTFE coating, so like a non-stick coating, but it eliminates rust. Like you don't have to worry about polishing, you don't have to worry about cleaning, but you also get more control over it. It cuts the friction in half. So as I was over there, like, and we were looking at all the different like table cleaners and things like that are over there right now. Like you can pack those away. Like you can get rid of those with some of this new stuff. But then even and that's on the table saws, the joiners, and the band saws. On our Jet line, we just launched it back in October. We have a new line of 4 different items called Jet Black, and it's an 8-inch joiner, a 20-inch planer, a 14-inch band saw, and an edge sander. That again, it's taken that productivity you get with that PTFE coating, but doing it for dimensioning your lumber, cutting your lumber, finishing it with a sander. So even since we started working together, we have some new stuff that we need to talk about. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most essential piece of equipment a woodworker needs in their shop?
A lot kind of depends on who the woodworker is.
Sure.
Like I have a very dear friend, Karen Tony. She has a company called Karen Tony Woodworking out of Davidson, North Carolina, and she's a turner. So for her, it's the 1221 lathe. It's the lathe is absolutely a crucial part of her shop. Like every Christmas tree she makes, every cork wine bottle she makes, those are all coming off that 1221. So you got to have that. Other than that, like a good, you can do a lot with a good bandsaw. Like our 14S, our jet black 14 SFX bandsaw. I know a guy who, like, we have great joiners and great planers for dimensioning, but he does all his dimensioning on his bandsaw.
Really?
I'm not exactly sure how he does it, but he does it, and he makes fine woodwork.
Really?
But he does all this work on bandsaws. So I think you can do a lot with a really good bandsaw, from resaw of resizing your lumber to fine work of doing detail cuts. There's a lot you can do with a bandsaw.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself near one. I'm clumsy. I'm always in a hurry. I stayed right away from that thing. I got long hair, baggy clothes. I stayed.
You just got to keep it tight.
I stayed right away from that.
Yeah.
Thing. But it is amazing to watch people that really know what they're doing, like use these tools. Like I go down the Instagram or the social media rabbit hole, watching these guys turn this stuff and glue it together and then spin it and get these dots. And how they do that and do the social media at the same time just blows my mind.
Oh yeah.
But it's pretty neat to see.
Oh, it's incredible, and it's like it's wizardry when it comes to woodworking, and it's so cool talking to folks. Even like when we were there for the WTF festival and talking to woodworkers. Like when I know that we've made a connection and we built a relationship to last, when someone breaks out their phone and starts flipping through pictures. And that was most of the people there, because they're just so proud to talk about it. It's like those things when they're not even thinking about it.
Right.
Hopefully they're looking at their hands, but they're just whipping out stuff on the bandsaw. It's incredible to see.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you said your wife got into wood carving.
Yeah.
Are you a woodworker?
So I would love to call myself a woodworker. I really would, but my stuff's not good enough to be a woodworker. I can make stuff. I love making stuff. Like I made my son's bed, a sandbox. I made a crazy basketball goal contraption for my wife. Like I can make things, but it might be a 90-degree angle. It might be sanded. It is. So I consider more my wife and my friend, like they're woodworkers. I can put some stuff together. Yeah.
Yes, we hear you have a talent though.
What's that?
That you might be a musician.
I play a little bit. I play a radio a lot better than I play a
Which way, right?
Yeah, I can hit play like a champ.
So what instruments do you play? Like what type of music?
I've played drums for a long time.
I was just saying he's a drummer in my head.
Yeah.
I look
I look like a drummer. I don't move around a lot. I just sit there. Yeah. I played drums for a while. I pick a little bit on a guitar and a mandolin. Yeah.
Mandolin.
Yeah. For music, like I'm big into punk rock, and my son's gotten her whole family into country lately, and also jam bands. So yeah.
All right, we could jam. We could jive.
Yeah.
You must love Billy Strings then.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan. Yep.
Nice.
It was just a Mike night last night. That's too bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bummer.
We're gonna have to talk about Mr. Woodshed.
Oh,
my dad's a drummer.
What? So I saw some of the videos on Facebook. Yeah, I think was he playing like a cajon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next time you come up,
okay,
we'll he has drum circles. Yeah. Well, drum circles,
Perfect.
woodworking, jam. This.
Hey,
you're never gonna leave.
that's good people. I'm fine. Yeah. If we could just turn up the thermostat a little bit, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah.
So where do most people find your tools and purchase your tools?
So we don't sell anything direct. Everything comes through distribution.
Yep.
We sell through everywhere. There's major wood retailers out there, like the Woodcrafts and the Rocklers. The major home centers have our product available, like the Lowe's and Depots. The other distributors that would be more typical construction, like Acme Tools, even Amazon. There's a lot of different places out there you can get it. So the best way is to look at jettools.com or powermatic.com and see the where to buy. And that'll show you the different places. Oftentimes you'll find the product in the showroom at the Woodcrafts, the Rocklers, the Acme Tools, some of those places where you can actually kind of kick the tires and light the fires and try it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say around here there aren't a lot of places to, Portland, there's I think a Rockler down there.
Bath Industrial Tool.
Bath Industrial Tools is one of the greatest.
I still haven't been in. I just know
You really haven't?
I haven't. I know I'll get the credit card out and be like, I've always wanted this, I wanted that, I've wanted
It has everything, and it has such a great display of Powermatic, of Jet, and it's great to go down there.
Yeah.
But they have too much of everything.
Yeah.
And it can be dangerous.
But we reached out to them a couple of times, but with some bandsaw blades and
cool.
stuff. And the owner's been really nice to us and worked with us and good people.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone in the industry, you know, you might be either competition or, you know, in sales distributors together, but everyone works together.
It really is good people. I mean, that's one of the things I like most. Like I've been in a few different industries, but I've been around the tool industry most of my life. And it's, everyone's worked with everyone else at some point within the tool industry. So there's a lot of, bro hugs at the shows and everything, but it's been really cool to see. But even like if you can't find our stuff, visiting those websites, calling our customer service line, and they can point you exactly where to go, to either see some of the machines or to find it online or to find it through a distributor or anything like that. Yep.
What is, well, I was just going to ask you, lost my train of thought.
I want to know how people in your company have they seen the episode come through? Like, because we've been filming in there a bunch of scenes.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you guys got some good exposure. We're not always using the tools, but we're either talking about them or standing around them. And
because we're looking for different things. Because like, and the product manager geek that I am, I'm excited about people providing feedback and it's so, but like from the marketing side of it's unmistakable when you see that Powermatic color. So
even if it's a piece of black tape over
even if it has a piece of
we deal with that a lot.
Theoretically, if there's a black piece of tape on there,
I got tape all over my body here.
Gotta hide all. Who's the full edge? I don't, it's not grateful. What?
Right.
But seeing that color is unmistakable. So for people to see that the best are using the best, it's an incredible connection. So I mean, like, it really is an honor to have the machines in there, and to see what you create. I was actually, I came in here earlier and I was scoping out the gift shop and stuff, and one of the episodes was on, and Ryan, you're talking about how you get to be a part of these homes, like that it's an honor to be a part of these homes, to be a part of these cabins, and it's the same thing. It's an honor to be a part of that woodworking journey, from a DIYer in their shed to here, where like we make the machines, y'all use the machines, that goes to someone's house or that goes to someone's tiny home. Like it's pretty incredible to be a part of that.
And we definitely started out on the DIY at home stuff, like learning from our parents. And we've never worked with anything as nice as you guys gave us.
Hand-me-down tools.
Yeah.
Always.
And I gotta say, I think I speak for Chase too. Some of these relationships are weird from us because we just worked hard, and you know, when someone's like, "Oh, we're gonna help you guys out," it's weird for us to see the value on the other end. Yeah. And it's nice to hear that, you know, you guys see the value. And
absolutely.
Because it's a weird life we're living. I'll tell you that. Yeah. You know, and you forget all these people watch you on TV. You know, we're just working. We're going to work. We're going to the wood shop. It's cold. Yeah. We forget there's people tuning in watching that, and because we use something that says something. So
very much so. And we were even talking about it downstairs about like your time is not your own. Like you have to go around and do so much, but at the end of the day, you are building these incredible things for people. But you're pulled in 1,000 different directions, and again, it's an honor. And like you said, it's generational. Like I talked about our friend Karen before. Like her grandpa taught her dad taught her how to use a lathe. So every time that she uses a lathe, it's not just her turning, it's her dad turning, it's her grandpa turning right there. And it's incredible. So like you say, like you learn as you're growing up. It's not just y'all doing this. It's the entire family lineage that's building these cabins for people.
Absolutely. Yeah. You hear that, Eva? You listening?
Yeah, you paid attention. Well, that's kind of like, you know, we brought Benny. Benny. He kind of came with the back 40, but he grew up in a wood shop and watched him do jigs and stuff. And we're hoping that he can pass this knowledge down. You know, that some of these kids, some of these younger people are paying attention. Yeah. Not the jury's out on that, but he has a wealth of knowledge. Like I was hoping I have enough time to learn from him, because I honestly don't know how to use all those machines to their full potential. Yeah. By any means, you know, like I'm a homeowner woodworker for the most part, and I could bust out, trim out windows and do this, but other than that, I'm like, I'm not very fancy. So I'm trying to retain too from people like that. That's a lot of knowledge is passed down.
It's incredible, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys. But a big part of coming up here was also spending that time with Benny this morning. Yeah. Of just
getting it. So it's from a feedback perspective and stuff.
Yeah. To get feedback of like, what are we doing right? That's cool. But what are we doing wrong? What can we do better to make things safer, to make things easier, to make things faster? So I mean, if we can do anything faster, then you guys can make more cabins. You can churn out more episodes.
God, fast.
Yeah, I was gonna
Fast
say,
and double-edged sword. I like all these fingers.
Safely.
Yeah.
Safely.
Yeah, you came in with 10, you want to leave with 10. Yeah.
That leads into my next question. How have the tools changed since you started working, and where do you see them headed? You briefly touched on the coatings and stuff like that, but where do you see it?
So the wood industry has moved really slow. There's a lot of machines out there now that look the exact same as they did a couple
In terms of technology.
Okay, in terms of technology. There's been a couple of things.
But is that strategic so that people are familiar? There's that level of familiarity, or is it really just things
more just slow? Yeah, and not as much strategic, because there's a lot of opportunities out there. Like right now, like the wood market was incredible during COVID.
Yes.
Everybody got into woodworking. There was money available. The biggest thing, there was time available. And then as we get further away from COVID, there's a lot of used machines on the market, and people are they don't have as much time. They've gone back to work. They can sell those machines and make a decent amount of cash on them. So that market is looking for more things. So the biggest thing the market is looking for right now is value of what, based on the money I put into it, what can I get out from a performance? What can that machine make for me? So that's one of the biggest things. And that's like with that jet black machine with, we have a few handfuls of products that we just lowered the price this year at all of those different distribution points, just to try to increase that value to the users. But then when it comes to technology, there's been a lot of, hey, here's a machine, sell it, cool. Like no actual talking to users of like the same horsepower on the old motor that's on the new motor. Like in the power tool world, talking about like brushless motors. Yep. Brushless motors are just now getting into the woodworking world. Now you're not working with batteries, so it's not like longer battery life, but it's longer motor life, so longer warranty, so we can take care of customers better. Smaller motors, so these things aren't so stinking heavy if you did want to bring it out to a site. So there's a lot of innovation that just hasn't moved to the wood industry, and that's what we're doing now. So if given the opportunity and I could come back in about a year, we have some really amazing stuff coming out in 6 months that we're super excited about, and then also next year we have some pretty incredible innovations on both Jet and Powermatic, from talking to users. Yeah, of not just saying like, hey, we can do this, let's just make it, from talking to users to say, hey, we want to be safer, we want to work faster, we want to walk in with 10 fingers and walk out with 10 fingers. How can we do that? So it's been just more of a slow industry, and now we're revitalizing that, and we see that with our competitors too. The competitors are smart, and I don't take anything away from our competitors. There's a lot of great products out there. But selfishly, I do feel that we're moving faster, and I think that what you're going to see in the next year, especially from JPW, is going to be crazy in the woodworking world.
Well, in terms of technology, in your defense, if we had $1 for every time someone wanted a board with the old blade, like the rotated blade mark in it, everybody wants that, and it's such old school. Like only a couple people around here now do that. Yeah. People want the look too. Yeah. When it comes to aesthetics.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's not just tools. I mean, it's not just woodworking tools. It's also everything that goes along with it. Yeah. Like dust collection systems is often an overlooked, but you guys,
gosh. Yeah.
Every good wood shop.
You don't think about that until you get a nice wood shop. Like we're like, whoa.
Well, and even the process of buying a dust collector is a pain in the butt. Of like how many machines can I run in this dust collector? Is the dust collector big enough? How do we run the piping? Like there's
what size? All that stuff.
All of that's difficult. And we have a full range of dust collectors, both on the Jet side and the Powermatic side, with horsepower up to the 3 horse, able to take in. I think we go up to like 2,200 CFM. So depending on the number of machines, how many you're running, still could need a couple of dust collectors.
And it's not just it's air filtration. Just a small dust filter makes a heck of a difference in a wood shop.
We get asked. I mean, you only get one set of lungs,
right?
Or you got to pay a heck of a lot of money if you want to get something different. But you only get one set, so you really got to take care of it. And it's the two things work in concert with each other. Like the dust collector and air filtration are totally different, but they're also both working to protect you. So with the air filtration, like we have our automatic AFS 1000C. It's our jet dust collector, or sorry, air filtration unit that hangs from the ceiling. It's an automatic unit. So it can sense like when dust is kicking up. So you can leave it on all the time.
Oh, wow.
But when dust kicks up, it reads that through a sensor, then it'll crank up the speed. We have another one that we just launched about a year ago. It's our AFS. We get real creative with our naming. So the AFS 1000 is 1000 CFM. The AFS 850 is 850 CFM. We're in marketing.
Easy to remember.
Yeah,
We like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, exactly. But the 850 sits on the ground. And it's only 35 pounds. You can drag it wherever you want in the wood shop. And so while you got dust going through your dust collector and you got the really fine particles that are going up, that are falling down, we have solutions for that. And again, it's right now, the way the market is, people are looking at machines that do the woodworking, not necessarily the secondary machines that protect you while you're doing the woodworking. But that's one of the things that we're working on, is making sure people understand how important it is to protect yourself, not just your glasses and your ear protection, but your lung protection as well.
Sure.
So yeah, that's a very good point. That's a big thing that we're working on in general.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think Eva has a couple of fan questions for you.
Okay.
I don't go there and look down because that's going to be my next question.
Do you think woodworking is a dying art, or is it staying strong? And that's from Sue Hutchinson.
Oh, cool. Great question, Sue. So I do not think it's dying, but I do think it's changing. What we're seeing in talking with schools is that a lot of woodworkers now have taken traditional machines and they're moving into CNC. In schools now, people are starting with CNC and then moving from there into traditional machines. So it's not yes, I do think the world is getting a little bit smaller, but I think it's just changing as far as how people are starting. So it's been really cool to, like, in talking to my kids, where they're starting with 3D printers and CNC machines and then saying, well, I'd really like to make some more sawdust with that. Like I'd actually like to use a gouge and a lathe. So they moved from that CNC to a lathe, as opposed to my generation of woodworkers starting with a lathe and saying like, oh, it could really cool to have a CNC. So it's kind of changing how people are getting started.
So schools that do have industrial arts programs now are doing more of the computer-based
A lot more
stuff and
computer-based.
working their way back. That's
They are.
interesting.
Yeah, and it's the schools that have the true woodworking machines are getting harder and harder to find. But it's amazing to see the connection between hands-on learning and how that works with other courses and other programs. We have a great friend at a local school there in Charlotte, and in talking to him, just the people who are doing well in his shop class are excelling in other categories or other courses in school, just because it's the application, the physical application and mental application at the same time. So it's been neat to see.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep.
All right. And this next one's from Tim Stanley. What's your favorite woodworking project you've ever made?
Great. Thank you, Tim. I got to think back. My favorite one I made. So we had a trundle bed. I don't know, like it was a day bed that had a rollout part that would pop up.
I think trundle.
And I always wanted a Jeep Wrangler. Like I could never afford a Jeep Wrangler, so I made my.
You made a wood one.
I did. I made it out of wood. So I made a Jeep Wrangler because I couldn't afford a real one. This one, lumber was a lot cheaper. So I made a Jeep Wrangler, and it looked like, to toot my own horn a little bit, like it looked really cool. But then also, like, after my son grew out of it, my daughter wasn't as much of a fan, but we also had a friend whose son was just dying to have this bed. So it went from our house to their house, and then went to another house. So it went through multiple families. So that was probably my favorite project, other than like a table for my dog's water bowls, which is easy, but also very important to protect our puppies. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite woodworking project you've done?
You've done no. I've done.
I was just thinking about all the stuff you've done, like, because you've done tables, but you've done cool art for everybody. And
Yeah, it's hard to think of just one.
One you do with your family, right?
Yeah, I mean, the table we made for you. I remember Eva and Fletcher and Maggie all helping sand that down. You know,
That's cool.
getting the kids involved.
Yeah.
You know,
They grew up across the street in that wood shop.
they did.
That's
They
awesome.
did. They're comfortable around tools.
Yeah.
Back, we didn't really know much about dust collection back then. They might have spent some
They
more
had
time.
masks.
Or heat, right? No heat. There was some cold
There was
days.
no heat.
But it came out awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Jimmy. We really appreciate you
thank
coming
you guys
back
much.
again.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure we'll see you this summer at the next WTF Festival.
Right on, man. We wouldn't
And
miss it.
one last time, tell everyone where they can find your products.
Head up jettools.com and Powermatic. Just search them up on the internet. Any great distributor out there has both Jet and Powermatic, and if they have any of our machines, they have availability of all of our machines. So yeah,
Awesome. And look for their machines in our wood shop on episodes of Maine Cabin Masters.
absolutely.
So right after this, we're going to be back with a brand new segment.
This is Chase
And Ryan.
from the Woodshed podcast, and we are here to get project pointers where we answer questions from people who reach out, questions about their cabins, projects they have going on, and we try and answer them as best we can.
You know, really our favorite part, one of the favorite parts, we really get into it. And we'd really like to develop that more, maybe find projects and pointers that we can talk to the homeowner in real time with and see where it goes from there.
So if you have a cabin and you have an issue, or if you have a project you're working on, podcast at mainecabinmasters.com, project pointers. All right, we're back with our new segment, Facebook Friends. But before that, I want to do a shameless plug for project pointers. If you have a question about your cabin or any type of woodworking, cabin related, anything really, let us know. Podcast at mainecabinmasters.com.
And when we say question, we mean problem. What's bugging you? What needs to be fixed? You know,
Or yeah, something.
funny noises.
How do you
animals.
fix it?
Yeah.
Podcast at mainecabinmasters.com. And so this new segment is called Facebook Friends. Oh,
Do we have any?
Lots of them.
So I was just saying, you guys see over when they drink a Guinness, they call it splitting the G. You ever hear about that?
never.
You start with a full Guinness and you drink it and you got to stop and split the G. So people could split the Ryan and Chasey. You got to start with the full and then you just got to time it right. I guess it's good luck.
Really?
We'll look more into that.
Oh,
Remember that.
Never heard of such a thing.
Splitting the G.
Anyways, this new segment, Facebook Friends, our official Facebook fan page, Friends Who Like Maine Cabin Masters, is moderated by Ryan's dad, Mike Eldridge, also,
Mr. Woodshed.
and a team of dedicated fans. They've pulled some questions that have been asked about a recent episode, which happens to be Ryan Ashley's Island Camp. So here's your chance to get the lowdown behind the scenes.
I didn't read that.
Instant answers.
Mm-hmm.
All
I,
right.
I can just sit back on
Looks like
this.
I'm on the hot seat here.
Yeah, I know. Get comfortable.
Is the wood cook stove coming back?
So, funny thing was, you know, when the episode about a week out, they say meet the homeowners, and it was Ash and I, and they started showing pictures, and there's all these comments about the cook stove. But the cook stove's not coming back. Okay, let's face it. Ash and I would never.
Yeah.
We would never cook on a stove. We have to make a fire and then cook. Getting us to cook for ourselves is. Ashley is a great cook, but she's not gonna make a fire and then cook on it.
Let alone learn how to cook on it.
You learn how to cook on. Yeah, that stove is beautiful. People asked us if we can. Why don't you keep it for heat? It's in storage in the back 40. It'll find its home. Everything we.
And they don't necessarily give off heat.
They don't. I don't know, but someone asked me that.
Yeah, but it's in storage.
It took up a bunch of space. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Just not our style. And I did get a new black stone for Christmas, so I'm excited about that.
Keep your eyes peeled because you may see it in another.
Another episode. I knew that was coming. Good question, though.
All right. This next one. Why was the composting toilet outside? Are there local restrictions on such an installation?
No, that's a good question. I think that because of a composting toilet, we just like the idea of having it separate. You know, we kind of pictured the way the layout was so open, and you know, having the kitchen in the back. We didn't want to really give up any. We suggested we don't want to give up any space, and I kind of picture like the main cabin as like the main area because I'm a morning person. Ash is a night person, so I kind of pictured Ash and I maybe somebody having our own little bunkhouse. Some of my friends have a cabin like that, and then you know, guests stay upstairs. You can come and go. So I kind of picture us having a little bunkhouse out there with a walkway to that. And that design is really, really neat, but you do have to, the solids do come out the back, and that you need an area to deal with that. I just didn't think it was at the right spot. You know,
I mean, let's be honest.
what do you mean?
Poop stinks.
Poop stinks, but they say poop does stink. They say if it works right and you separate the liquids, it doesn't stink.
Oh no, of course.
Right. But even having it around, it's just like ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a little while for it
Yep.
to dry out and everything, so you want to keep that. Yeah.
Yeah, it does stink. You're right. Like with the waste, that wasted is top of the line compost. It's like through all the national parks in Europe. Like it's amazing. Like I just love they show how it worked. But I mean, when it comes out, it does stink. And I've been known to stink it up. So I think I just put it outside. It'd be good.
Yeah.
And it has a nice shed out there. It's perfect use. And I will keep, this summer update what we do for different updates and stuff.
And there are codes about outhouses, composting toilets, all that stuff.
I mean, that's a top of the line system, and we put a lot of work. I was very adamant that before you guys kicked me off the island, that I wanted Ashley to be out there. I think the biggest thing about having Ashley be comfortable out there is a bathroom that was nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that, as you saw, that was a lot of work. That was 200 buckets of 3/4 stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is this system?
So it's called Wasted Earth. It's a composting system. So it has a conveyor belt. So you sit down and there's a pump on the side. And after you do your business, your pee gets filtered down into a leach field, and then all your solids are on the conveyor belt, and you just pump it, and it goes and it goes off into this pit, and then the enzymes and stuff all start to break it down, and then the thing comes back around clean, and you start over. Whereas a lot of these old composting toilets, you couldn't pee in it because the solids and the liquids would mix, and that's not good. So it's pretty much top of the line for dummies, and it's perfect for your auntie and I.
Perfect.
Yeah, growing up, my grandparents had a Clivus, which is a brand of composting toilet.
That was like the brand, right, back in the day?
But it was like a do-it-yourself. Maybe they built one based on the Clivus model, but it was smack dab in the center of the camp, and it was concrete.
Can you still smell it?
Oh, yeah. Concrete. And I mean, there were, I don't know how many grandkids using this thing, and it stunk
At Clearwater?
at Clearwater. And I remember, once a year my grandmother would empty it, and she'd come out with a bucket and fertilize her flowers or whatever, and the flowers were beautiful, but I
mean, we both agree composting toilets, there's a spot for them, but no one tells you how much work they are. Even this one we'll have to clean every once in a while.
Oh, of course. I
mean, you got to put gloves on, and as you get older, you realize you're going to deal with poop.
Yes, there's no magic solution.
No.
At all.
But great question.
All right. From a building inspector in the Facebook group who was insistent that the stovepipe being lower than the main roof will be knocked over by snow sliding down the upper roof, even though there are cable stays. Your thoughts?
I don't think so at all. It's so windy out there, and with all the pine trees, I think the snow's just going to rip through there. And it did have, they weren't cable stays. They were like big bars.
And that wasn't a 6-inch piece of stovepipe. That was probably a 12-inch double insulated stovepipe. I mean, that thing, probably one of the most rugged stovepipes
we've ever seen.
Yeah, on any camp. And it was locked down to that stone fireplace well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a pitch on that roof that it's gonna slide around it. And it'd been there for
a long time.
How many years?
And come to find out, we bought it off our part of the island off Sean and Jess, and that was part of the thing. They had to repoint some of the chimney and put the stovepipe in to get it for insurance.
Really?
So yeah, and they had to have it inspected. So it's all up to code. It's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Sometimes you put crickets or little pitches behind chimneys to keep the snow from knocking the chimney over, but
it doesn't snow here anymore anyways. It snows in New Orleans.
Knocks it over, you
go back
pick it up and put it back up.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. How do you power the fridge without any electricity?
That's a good question. So propane fueled refrigerator. When we went out there, when we started working out there, it worked great. And it literally worked for the crew the whole time. So it was awesome. So they could come out there and bring their lunch and keep food out there and keep hot dogs and made it more efficient. And it was really efficient. I think it went through like one tank, and not even. But then something broke at the end, right during the reveal, I think. It broke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's probably the film crew.
But I talked to Steve's appliance for Steve. So it's a couple $1,000 one, but totally worth it. He said, you could take the old one apart, but it's not worth it. And I actually talked to a lady. It's pretty neat that people have wrote into me about that island, that grew up there. And some lady lives out of state now. She was the nanny for people on that island. And she remembers Oh my God. That's a foul. Jeepers.
Who is this rookie?
She remembers that propane stove probably being 45 years old.
Oh.
Propane refrigerator, 50 years old.
Do they require any electricity? Sometimes they require a battery.
Yeah, this one didn't. This one just had propane. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Newer one. And newer ones, I think you can get where it can be propane, it can be electric. Technology.
Yeah, I hope to work on solar this year and keep just getting it nicer and nicer.
Yeah.
I'll keep you updated. Good questions, guys. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now on to questions for Chase and Ryan.
Oh gosh.
Back in the hot seat.
He's not that jealous. Yeah, so if you have questions for us, send it into our Facebook page or podcast at maincabinmasters.com, all over the place.
All
We'll
right.
try to answer them.
Monique Crete asks, how can I best paint my new nickel gap pine vaulted ceiling the color white when it has already been installed?
Pay somebody.
I'm going to say,
She means like keep the nickel gap and not fill it in with paint.
yeah. Well, I don't know if you've seen one of the most recent episodes where we did the pyramid down in Phippsburg and Popham, but I invested in one of those Graco cordless sprayers, and
That thing was awesome.
It was one of the best investments, best purchases. They're lightweight. You can use it any direction, upside down. It takes DeWalt batteries, which, works well with us. Any types of paint, and you can adjust the, say it's like a normal professional sprayer. You can get different tips. You can adjust the pressure that's coming out of it. So I think that would be your best bet, because a sprayer is going to get the face and it's also going to get into the cracks, so that you wouldn't see any bare wood.
Evenly get into both, not like a roller is going to deposit all that heavies into that crack, right?
It's going to shove it in, and if it's on the ceiling, it could drip. Whereas a sprayer, practice with it, get comfortable with it. I think that would be your best bet. My one piece of advice is rig up a leash for it, because I think I had it. So it's funny, we did 2 jobs down in Phippsburg last summer. Worked great on the pyramid. Went to the next job, and I luckily I was up on staging, and I set it down, and I turned and I kicked it off the staging, and I broke the hand.
Never worked to get same again.
No, we duct taped it back together, some pipe clamps. It worked for a few more camps, but if I had had a safety leash, it would not have tumbled all the way down.
But correct me if I'm wrong, I do think it saved you enough time. It paid for itself, because we used it for 3 or 4 camps.
Oh yeah,
The efficiency. So
No, and
for a homeowner, it'd be amazing.
we kept using it, and there are many different models out there. There are ones where you can put a bucket down beside it and run that way, but just a little handheld, I think, would work well to, and again, just get comfortable with
Practice
it.
before. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Even on cardboard, right?
Yeah, on anything.
All right.
Practice ombre.
Ombre.
Okay. This next one is from Lisa Bridgegroom. Do you or any of the crew have a habit that you do on the job site and carry it over at home? My husband can't seem to close a door.
Great question.
Yeah. I can't speak for any of the other guys.
Well, I think it'd be easy to pick on somebody else than yourself. But,
Yeah, I just don't know if they have any habits at home.
oh, true. What are your pet peeves on the job site? I hate not having the job site clean and organized. Like it's a double-edged sword, because a lot of the guys, we're always preaching, fast and efficiency, and then they don't dare to stop and clean because we're always like, go fast. So a lot of times you'll see me when I get there, I try to clean and organize.
Yeah, I'd say bad habit is my truck.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Just throwing stuff in there and forgetting about it.
Just today, I had to get even my truck to get her here. And, I had to throw boxes in the back, and she was sitting, her feet on a pile of everything. And it's just, I was sitting in Steve Colby's trailer yesterday, and everything, his trailer is so neat.
Way OCD, yeah.
Yeah, he's got all the shelves, everything built in. I'm like, oh, this would be so great. I'm like, but I would never use it. I would just throw everything in. No, then I was like, oh, I should pimp my Sprinter van out and like have shelves and everything. I'm like, it would just end up like my truck and nothing would be on the shelves.
You're a Morrill. You got the artist side. Seriously. Your sister's the same way. Like, she knows where everything is, but it's her space. Don't touch it. Like, I try to...
Chaos.
Control chaos.
Yes. Interesting question.
Habits. No, it was pretty good.
Nope. I was going to say pile of bits and screws everywhere. I do try and empty them out of if I wash my pants before
I got
the
one.
laundry.
I got one. They hate. Half a drink cups or bottles of soda or water everywhere. I'm always picking them up. I'm like, you guys complain, you don't make enough money an hour and you got a $5 drink half drunk there and you leave it. And I'm going to have to pour it out and throw it away. Like, these prime beverages, what are these things that these kids drink? Like, you pay $4 for a can because it looks cool, liquid death, and then you don't even finish it. It's like, come on. Like, I've always felt like a parent, and I've always said I don't have my own kids, but I have a lot of kids. Or like, I go around the back 40 and I just find water bottles everywhere and coffee cups. It's like, and I know I do it too.
Yeah. But I mean, waste that's an interesting, that could be a whole other episode in itself, is just waste on job sites. How do we deal with it? How much do we create and how much
trash and
I
think we're pretty good with pine. It's awesome. It's, with times we put a GoPro on a thing of pine from Hammond, something that shrinks down.
Yeah.
And what's left, we use, you could sell here in the summer, or we use to burn.
Well, today we were sheathing a couple of buildings and I just needed a handful of cuts just to cut up into kindling to get a fire started. I was like, all right, I threw 5 pieces in, I'll knock them down and
good to go.
Yeah, good to go. So yeah, those are our habits.
Mr. Bridegroom, you better start shutting the door. Good question. All right.
That's it.
That's it for those. Those are pretty easy.
All right. Thank you for those questions. And a couple more from the archives. We're going to try and squeeze as many into these podcasts as we can. These are all messages left in Kennebec Cabin Company in our logbooks. And Eva will read a couple of them to you now.
Okay. We love Maine Cabin Masters. I'm a Bates grad, and my husband grew up visiting his grandparents in Old Orchard. We got married in South Berwick. We love Maine, and we love Pat's Pizza.
Hey!
Maybe we'll need a cabin soon to make it more Maine permanent.
They know the way to the Morrill's heart right there. It's through the belly of Pat's Pizza.
Oh, yes.
And who was that?
That was from Tatum and Ben.
Nice. Well, thank you, Tatum. We love our Pat's Pizza too. And Ben.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If someone offered you lifetime Pat's Pizza, you would probably do it. Be a good way to get a cabin done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love the show so much. I watch all of the show. Love Evelyn Gold, and she's 8 years old.
Oh, thanks, Evelyn. It's pretty fun. We get younger people. Like, our demographics definitely started on the other end of the spectrum. We get first getting started.
Yeah. And
over the years, it's been really interesting to see. When I say people my age, I still think I'm 25, but I'm not. But like to see the evolution go down and be in public, like, oh, we love the show, and then kids love it.
I think it was at your 50th birthday party that we saw Fawn.
Oh my God.
So Fawn was probably one of our earliest, youngest fans. And
she loved the rot.
She loved the rot. She loved Ashley. And we saw her at Ryan's party.
She's a young lady.
Yeah. I'm blown away by how she's grown up. And
isn't that when you feel the oldest? That's when I feel the oldest.
Yeah.
Kids I haven't seen in a long time that are like adults now. So
yeah. But Fawn was just such a fan at such an early age. For the show and for her.
Yeah. Thank you, Fawn. She still watches.
All right.
And all our other little mini masters.
Hi, Maine Cabin Masters. What a lovely store and restaurant. So glad we made the trip from Long Island, New York. Our family loves your show. Keep up the good work. Hopefully, we will be able to see the show for many seasons to come. The Nadeau's family, Sarah, Nicole, Riley, Ren, and Kennedy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for coming up, and we'll keep going.
How often do you go to a cabin? Like, you grow up in the cabins around here, and they have the guest book.
Oh yeah,
Like the one in Pemmican. Like that's fascinating. When I go to the cabins, and your rental properties now, you put them out there.
Absolutely.
Pretty neat to see.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, yeah, the Russell Camp had one
From way back, right?
Way back.
Way
I don't think it made the episode, but it was, it was an old one.
That's just like tradition. These old Maine cabins, second properties that they put a log book out and tell stories and have fun.
Yeah. All right.
On to trivia.
I just got to say, that was amazing. Yeah, that's the Eve I knew we'd get. Like, we were kind of giving it to you.
We won't cross you again.
Yeah, and you just gave it right to us.
All right.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, last week's question was Western Ave, described once as the most offensive eyesore in Maine, is in what city? The answer to that.
Massachusetts.
Augusta. All right.
Sorry, Tobias.
Now, did you just happen to pick that?
Yeah, it was on the
that's
same card.
Karma always wins.
Yeah.
Some things are meant to be.
All right.
So if you were the first person to send in Augusta, once you stop laughing,
You get no prize.
you'll get a prize. And then if you answer this next question, the first person with the correct answer to podcast at mainecabinmasters.com will win a prize. And don't be dissing on Gardner on this one.
What vessel of significance was built by the settlers of Popham Colony in 1607?
What?
What vessel of significance was built by the settlers of Popham Colony in 1607?
What's she trying to say? They built an important boat.
Probably that Jane Burke pyramid.
Upside down. There's a lot of history in Popham. Some of the first settlers in Maine were in Popham.
Yeah.
I think. Right?
All right. Something to think about.
Yeah. Get back to us. I don't know the answer to that one.
Right. Well, thank you, Jimmy Uttley from Powermatic, for joining us. Thank you, Eva.
Mhm.
Thanks, Eva.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you to our sponsors, Hammond Lumber Company in Nelma, and From the Woodshed. We'll be talking to you. From the Woodshed is brought to you by Nelma, Northeast Lumber Manufacturing Association. See the stamp, trust the quality. And Hammond Lumber, our building materials supplier.